Adam says, question from Facebook. What hosting do you recommend and why for ourselves or clients? Anyone to stay away from? Okay, yes, that's a great question. So we have, I don't like to badmouth places, but we had for years promoted Liquid Web, and they were an outstanding hosting company for a long time, but apparently they got bought out by somebody, and their support went to shit. Like none I've ever. I mean, as bad as GoDaddy hosting or HostGator or any others. Their support went to total shit. We had our site hack Semantic Mastery in, I think, February of this year. Is that right, Adam?
Yep. Yeah, sorry, I was reading something. What was the exact question?
I think we had the site hacked in February, the first week in February.
Yeah, I can't recall. It was earlier this year, but it stretched on forever.
Almost 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep. Almost 6 weeks. Our site was down for a month, and it took like a site hack, guys. I've had that happen to clients and some of my own stuff over the years, and usually with no more than 2 or 3 days tops. And the site's been 100% restored. Took them 6 weeks. Our site was down for a month. Then I had a client site, that same thing. He'd been on Liquid Web for like 10 years. And this was just two months ago now. I had a client site that got hacked, and his site went down for 4 days. 4 entire days. So anyway, long story short, we used to promote Liquid Web. I don't recommend them at all anymore. And that's their fault, because they used to be outstanding and they're no longer. Their support sucks. It takes them 3 times as long to do what a decent hosting company can do. And so what I started using, I don't know, 3-4 years ago now, as just one of many different hosting accounts, was WPX. Which is owned and operated by Terry Kyle. And any of you guys that have been around for a long time would recognize Terry Kyle's name. He started a hosting company a while back, and it's now called WPX. And I started using them probably 3, maybe 4 years ago as one of many different hosting accounts. And I have since, except for SEO hosting for some specific projects, I've moved every one of my money sites on the WPX and my client sites. And I recommend WPX to all my clients. The one that I was just telling you about from 2 months ago was a roofing client. He had his site hacked and it was down for 4 days. It was a nightmare working with Liquid Web. And so I contacted him and said, look, as soon as Liquid Web restores your site, I'm going to migrate it to WPX. Go buy WPX here. WPX is great. Their support is outstanding. I've only had one issue with WPX in the 4 years that I've worked with them, and that was earlier this year. They had something happened with one of their upstream providers or whatever, and sites were completely unreachable in WPX for about 5 hours. But they got it fixed, and then Terry Kyle, the owner of WPX and founder of it, sent out a long email the next day apologizing and explaining what happened and saying that's not an excuse. We're putting redundancies in place now to make sure that this never happens again. And I'm telling you, I've never had as good of support as WPX at any time of the day or night. If you have a problem, you can go on to WPX and live chat. And within 10, 15 seconds, you got somebody there working on your problem. It doesn't have a normal cPanel, but you still have file manager, MySQL database, all that other stuff. I just think it's an outstanding service. And like I said, I've moved all of my client sites and lead gen projects except for SEO hosting, and I recommend to all my clients WPX hosting. I think it's an outstanding hosting service, and their speed is really good. And one of the other cool features about them is that they have a speed they'll do a site speed optimization for every site in your account. You get it one time free for every domain that's hosted on their in their hosting, and it's phenomenal. They do a really good job. They use W3 total cache, and they have very specific settings with their own CDN that's already baked into their hosting plans, and so they configure all of that for you. And they do a really, really, really good job of optimizing for page speed, and that's something I've always struggled with on my own. So that's another reason why I like WPX, because like if you got a 15 website hosting package, then you get basically all 15 sites get one free page speed optimization service. And then you can always buy more if you need to, but I always thought that was a really, really good feature too. Any comments on that, guys? Okay.
No, I've just been super happy ever since we moved Semantic Mastery over. No issues.
Yeah, no issues at all. So